What is up, T.O.Gs? Don't do it. Oh my goodness. Step on the gas now. Make up for it by stepping on the gas. Or the accelerator, since your car doesn't take gas. So sometimes I will peruse the interwebs for information, for inspiration. That's what I meant to say. Because, you know, I got all kinds of ideas floating around in my noggin. But every once in a while, I like to switch it up, see what else is going on other people's channels. But one of the topics that was being discussed was, is it scary to ride a motorcycle? And so I thought, that's a good thing to talk about, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Is it scary to ride a motorcycle? So first of all, I'd like to just say scared, being afraid of something, that's all relative, right? I might be afraid of one thing, you might not be afraid of it. I own a ball python, and you might hate snakes. You might be like deathly afraid of snakes. You know, I'm not afraid of heights. You might be afraid to climb up a ladder. So fear is relative. So saying is it scary to ride a motorcycle, I think it's not a black and white discussion to have. So we'll just put that out there before we even get started. But what I will say is that I think where a lot of the fear comes from riding a motorcycle comes from what you hear from people who don't ride, and what you hear from people who are afraid to let their loved ones ride, who are afraid to get on a motorcycle themselves. My daughter's best friend, who I treat like one of my daughters, she won't ride the motorcycle with me. It's funny. I tease her all the time, and she really is afraid to ride the bike. And so, you know, I still tease her just because it's one of the things I do with all of my kids. But you know, it's just one of those things. Some people, oh my gosh, it looks like there's people out in the field, but they're just sunflowers from past crops. That was kind of freaky. I was like, what are all those people out there? Just out of the corner of my eye. Freaked me out a little bit. Like the children of the corn. Or tomatoes, whatever those were. And so some people are afraid to ride, and some people are not. So what I want to address is where I think that fear stems from. And that, like I said, the first thing is people's opinions shaping your own opinion. People telling you about the death rates of people who ride motorcycles. If you talk to someone from CHP Safety, they might tell you how they see all these horrific motorcycle accidents. And so when you hear all of that, you're bombarded by that, especially if you're someone who's saying, hey, I'm thinking about riding a motorcycle, I'm thinking about getting a bike. You're going to get inundated by comments like this from people who don't ride. So that's where I think one of the places that fear stems from. The other place that fear stems from is the fact that you're exposed, right? We call people who ride in trucks or in cars, we call them cagers, right? Because they're riding around in these enclosures that help them feel safe, help them feel secure. You get this idea, and especially if you're somebody who commutes a lot and you see a lot of motorcycles on the road and you see them cutting in between cars, you see them making dangerous maneuvers. What you don't notice are all the safe riders, the riders who are just staying in their lane, who are obeying the laws of the road and are just doing what they're supposed to do while they ride. And so you don't notice them because it's just like when you're on the road. You notice the bad drivers. You don't notice the by far the amount of good drivers who are also out on the road. So that's definitely another place where that fear comes from, where it starts, is you being comfortable in a car, and then when you get out here on the road, you're exposed. You don't have that cage. You don't have that enclosure to make you feel safe. And so when you see people riding, or maybe you've ridden with somebody, it feels very, very, you feel naked, right? You feel like if anything should go wrong, you're going to get horribly mangled. I think the last thing that I'll say about being afraid to ride or having a fear of riding a motorcycle, I think comes from the speed, right? I think a lot of us, if not most of us, have ridden a bicycle, right? And a lot of us, if not most of us, have ridden a bicycle fairly fast. You know, I think I've ridden on a bicycle somewhere around 35, 40 miles an hour, and imagine getting in a wreck on a bicycle going that fast or faster. I know a lot of people who race bicycles get in really bad accidents at faster than that speed, and it really, really tears them up. It really can badly injure them. But again, that's the something that where when you get on a motorcycle and you ride at speeds of 80 miles an hour, maybe faster for some of you. Oh, this is not gonna read me. Do I need to just turn here? Yeah, I'm just gonna turn here. Are you there? Oh, there it goes. Of course. So it's the sheer speed of riding. If I were to just take my daughter's friend out on a road like this, I think she would probably be okay. But it's the fact that at any given moment I can twist that throttle and all of a sudden in a matter of a second we're going 15 miles an hour faster. It's the fear of falling off the back if you're a passenger. But when you get in behind the handlebars and you're here, it's a lot more secure. So if you've ever ridden as a passenger on a motorcycle and it didn't feel safe, it didn't feel comfortable, I can tell you from being a passenger on a motorcycle and to being the pilot, the driver of the motorcycle, it's a completely different feeling. It's because you've taken that aspect of being out of control and now you're in control. And I think if you take that aspect away, you'll find that it's much different. So I will say though that riding a motorcycle is inherently dangerous, right? We are exposed. We are riding without a cage. We're riding without something to protect us if we were to just get into simple crash. And that is dangerous. It's inherently dangerous. But what I will say is we ride defensively. We ride within our means. We ride within our skills. We ride within the law. And by doing that, we take a lot of those factors of what makes riding a motorcycle seem scary out of the picture. So I would really like to hear back from you guys. What are some of the aspects of riding that maybe were frightening to you before you started riding, or maybe when someone told you that they wanted to ride, if you're watching this video and you don't ride, what is it about that scares you and maybe makes you not want to let your loved one ride? So I'd love to answer your questions. I'd love to get a discussion going in the comments. So make sure if you have any of that, make sure to leave that in the comments. Everybody, if you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up down there, which is the like button. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Guys, if you're out there riding, please be safe. Be kind to one another. My name is Eric. I'm that one guy, and I am out.